I wanna be the very best. My friend is absolutely obsessed with Pokemon and he's just moved into his first house, so I thought what better housewarming gift than a Pokemon painting.
My journey starts with an adventure into the loft to bring back an old painting.
Which I can then gesso over. Shh, don't tell anyone, but this used to be a painting of a naked lady.
Which, in hindsight, you probably would have preferred. But it's gone now, so I need to plan what I'm painting on here.
Normally I have an idea and then I find a canvas to fit, but this time I'm working the other way around. I measured the size of the canvas and then drew a smaller version of that on the paper, ready for the sketch. We grew up in the golden age of Pokemon. The games, the TV shows, the card game were such a huge part of our childhood, so I wanted to reflect that in the painting. It's gonna be nostalgic as hell, which means it's got to be the 3 Gen 1 starters, Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Charmander.
I think it's pretty safe to say I'm not going to be getting a job as an animator anytime soon. I am completely unorganised and I do everything last minute. I only have one evening to get this painting finished because I'm going seeing the house for the first time tomorrow. So I really need to get this done tonight. I want the painting split up into 3 separate sections with a border like a Pokemon card, which means I've got to mask it off. Cool, now let's get some paint on there. I want the colours of the painting to match the colours of the starter Pokemon. Blue, green and red. You might now be thinking to yourself, Daniel, that's in black and white. And you'd be absolutely right. Don't worry, I've got the perfect way to fix this. Smeagol, I choose you! Wow! Nah, I'm only joking. I know Pokemon don't exist. I did that myself. I do now have a newfound respect for animators because that 2-second clip took me about 6.5 hours to animate. I have no idea how they have the time or the patience to do stuff like that.
If you've been paying attention and you're pretty clued up on Pokemon, you'll have seen that the background looks very similar to the back of a trading card. And you might be thinking, wow, that's pretty smart. But in reality, it's just because the abstract background was much faster to paint. And then it was just a case of glazing the colours over the top.
So I added some white over the colours and then I airbrushed a little bit of a black haze or a shadow over this. And now what I'm going to do is probably going to be my favourite part of this entire process. Let's peel back that tape. So I just need to neaten up some of these edges now. You probably can't see it on there. Amber, just bring the camera a little bit closer so they can see.
Even when using masking tape, I always get some of the paint that bleeds through, and I absolutely hate that when I'm trying to do neat, perfect edges. So I've just got a little bit of white paint and a small brush that I'm using to neaten those edges. To speed up my process even more, I projected my drawing onto the canvas in a very, very dark room. Then it was onto the painting. I'm just using the paints pretty much straight out of the tube. I've not watered it down at all. I want quite thick, opaque paint for this. But obviously with acrylics, that's still going to take a couple of layers to do. At this stage, I've not decided yet if I'm going to go more realistic or leave them quite cartoony. So I'm not keeping them completely 2D. I'm trying to add some 3D form with lights and shadows, but I'm not going overboard with details.
That's one down. And I wasn't originally planning on doing this like black outline around them. I was gonna render it fully, but I actually think it looks pretty cool with the black outline. A little bit more like cartoony, which originally I was gonna do it a little bit more realistic, but then I realized that rendering all of that and getting it looking nice would have just taken way too long. So I decided to go with black outline, and I'm pretty happy that I did. On to Bulbasaur now, and I cannot tell you how many good memories bubbled up when I started painting this piece. I used to get my dad to draw me little Pokemon characters when I was younger. I'm talking like 4, 5, 6, and I used to like colour them in. And I think one day he was just like, no, you can start drawing your own. And I think that is probably one of the reasons why I started drawing and creating art in the first place. So it's nice to come back to this, because this is really where it all started. I've come a long way since then, a lot more painting, a lot more drawing, and I have released my own set of brushes, if you haven't heard, and I am using one of those now. It was perfect for doing those black outlines. I mean, I usually use it for doing whiskers and long strands of fur. I've never used it for something like this before, but it was absolutely brilliant, and there is no other brush that I would use. There's less than 100 sets left, and once they're gone, they're gone. So if you want one, I'll leave a link in the description for you to go and check them out. All we're going to do now is get this Charmander painted. For the most part, I painted Charmander in exactly the same way as the others, except for one thing. I wanted the fire on his tail to stand out a little bit more, so it's quite textured and a lot thicker paint for this. I also decided to not give it a black outline, so that the finish was similar to how Charmander looked in the shows. I know I said pulling the masking tape off was the most satisfying part of the video, but these black outlines were so satisfying. They were so neat and so clean, and they went on so smoothly, and it was just such a therapeutic way to paint. I don't normally do line art like this, but I can see why people do it. There's still a final few touches that I need to do, but you're going to have to wait until the reveal to see the finished painting. So I've got the painting done, but we've got a quick change of plans. I'm not actually going to his house, he's going to come to mine and Amber's house, so you're going to get a little sneak peek of our living room. I've told him that I need help with a YouTube video, but I've not told him that the painting is going to be for him, so hopefully he likes it. Right, he's here. This is the moment of truth. Amber, can you bring me the picture?
Yep.
You keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, let's show.
Okay, Amber, get a good look at that, so everyone at home can see them. Okay, right, I'm going to pass you the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just keep your eyes closed for the time being.
Yep.
Okay, you can open them.
Oh my god, that's well done.
It's for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, thank you.
I thought it
my
could go in
God.
your office.
Yeah, that will go in my office. I was expecting like just some wildlife thing or something, but I mean it's real wildlife, to be fair. Yeah, I love it. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Oh, that's well cool.
If that seemed a little bit rehearsed and not quite sincere, it's because it kind of was. I left Amber in charge of doing the filming, and the first time we did it, to film his genuine reaction, she forgot to press the record button. So here's a little bit of an outtake when we realised what she'd done.
Recording.
Right, it's recorded.
It's recorded now.
It's recording now.
Yeah.
Right, because you can do all the cutting.
Yeah.
Right, Charlie, come back here.
She's fine, she's fine.
Okay.
Stupid. Not
Right,
you.
I've got to
This
reset
whole
now.
thing.
I've got to reset now.
Oh.
Because that was genuine shock as well.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
Right, okay. Apologies.
It's alright, it's not your fault.
I mean, it is a little bit.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to be nice.